If you need help applying for the PMP or Project Management Professional Exam administered by PMI or the Project Management Institute, we're going to go through it step by step and get everything together that you need, because this is a source of so much confusion. I'm Erica and I make a lot of video content around project management, taking the exam. I took the PMP exam myself in December of 2023 and I passed all above target. I was terrified when I took it, and looking back on it, I think I had a really foolproof strategy. I studied, applied, got audited, accepted, and took the exam all within 90 days. So let's get into it. I'm going to do a screen share here in a moment, and we're gonna walk through step by step and apply for your PMP exam together. If you're not ready to apply yet and you're still in the educational part of your work, I still recommend watching this, and if you're not sure if you want to do the PMP yet, I still recommend watching this, because we're going to talk about what makes you eligible, what courses are eligible, and then all of the pre-work that you need to have prepared before you even open the application. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open your browser and you're going to go to this link, pmi.org/certification/project management PMP. Press enter. Going to take you to this page, and on this page we're going to check your eligibility. And to get down here, there are 3 different sets of requirements. Set B is the requirements that I fulfilled, but that does not mean that you need B. They're all eligible, it's just different pathways. So set A, you need to either have graduated high school or have some kind of secondary school diploma. If you don't know what those are, I would just Google examples of them and see if you have one that qualifies. You need 60 months or 5 years of experience leading and managing projects within the last 8 years, and 35 hours of education or training. I did Andrew Rumdahl's course, and I will link that. I always have it down below. There's an affiliate link. They run discounts sometimes. Check it out. It's one of the cheaper ones online. It's not through an institution, but it is still accepted and recognized by PMI, and his pass rate is significantly higher than multiple universities. So check it out. If you don't have this, then you can also meet that requirement if you already have a CAPM, or you've done this on-demand exam prep or an instructor-led, this is what I did, is on-demand PMP or an instructor-led PMP course. So set B requirements is what I have my bachelor's degree, and I had 3 years of experience leading and managing projects within the last 8 years, and then I did my 35 hours of on-demand PMP exam prep that was authorized by PMI. That is Andrew Rumdahl's course. And then set C is a bachelor's degree from a GAC accredited program, and then 2 years of experience leading and managing projects and the project management training. However, if you have the GAC core project management course, then you are pre-approved. Okay, so now you know whether or not you're eligible, and if you're not eligible, what you need to do to become eligible. So the second thing to think about is, can you afford it? Let's talk about the cost here. So if you are a member with PMI, I believe I pay $175 a year to be a member, then you only have to pay $425 to take the exam. If you are not, you have to pay $675. Now keep in mind, if you fail the exam, you have to pay this full price, either $425 or $675, to take it again. So that's something to take into consideration. Now, if you need to come up with $675, because let's be honest, eggs are $7 right now. It's not easy to be alive. I came up with some ideas for side hustles. So you could do freelance copywriting on Upwork, some user-generated content freelance opportunities on Upwork. Just type that into the search bar. It's free to make an account there. Event assistant for local events. People will pay $10 to $15 an hour. Again, you only need to make $675. You don't have to do this that long. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber, Lyft. Please stay safe if you do this. You could go out and buy thrift items and then flip them on Depop, which is an app you can download to your phone. If you have an internet connection, and I'm making the assumption you have an internet connection if you're watching this video. If you're watching it at a public library, there might be something you can do with the public library in Depop. Just make sure it's not blocked on their computers. You could go find furniture that people put out on the curb or put by the trash, upcycle it and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. You can do pet sitting or dog walking. Rover is amazing. There's another one that starts with a C. I don't remember what it is, but there's 2 big ones out there. You could be a tutor, or you could bartend, serve, or host. So those are all options to help you save, and you don't have to do them for that long. If you were a bartender, you could probably make it in one shift. If you're a server, you could probably make it in a couple shifts, and if you're a host, you could probably make it in a week. So just kind of an idea. Okay, so step 4, we need to gather your application materials. So we'll get to this in a second here. Preparing, this is kind of a whole thing here. So you have to make a list of projects you've led. Now, you do not need to have the title of project manager or project coordinator or anything with project in your title. My titles were digital specialist or digital associate, digital lead, and marketing specialist. Those were the 3 titles I had that I could show experience leading projects in the last 8 years. So some examples of times when you led a project could be leading a marketing campaign, leading a small business site launch, leading a PR stunt execution, event coordination, onboarding new employees, documenting SOPs, coordinating an office move, a website update coordination, or even just website maintenance coordination, a CRM implementation. This could also be for small businesses. Like, it could just be really simply organizing how your business takes in leads, categorizes them, and then how they make it into your actual book of business and contacts. Process optimization for your team, leading a customer feedback survey. That one, I think you'd have to blow it up a little bit bigger and be like, we worked with all of these different groups. If you have any experience managing vendors, that will count. So you have to get a little bit creative and spend some time with it. The practice or the application is going to ask you what company you did it for, the months of that, like, you were working with the company, and then the duration of the project. So make sure that as you're coming up with these, like, led marketing campaign at this company that I worked for 5 years, and I did this for 6 months. You're going to want to have some good duration in your project. You don't just want your project to be a month long. So as you're doing that too, think about people from those companies that you could use as contacts if you get audited. If you get audited, they will pick up the phone and call every single person on your list to make sure that you actually did that work for that company. And they actually called all of my contacts. So, and then you're also going to have to outline the training that you've completed. Again, I did Andrew Rumdahl's course, and he tells you in his course exactly how to do this as well. There's a whole module on it, and he will also show you what from, like, where you need to go on his course to find the information to plug into the application. So you'll plug that in, and then you're going to have to also list the institutions that you did it through. So for him, I can't remember what it's called, but he'll tell you exactly the name of it, the name of the course, the qualifying hours, and there's like an ID with it that PMI gave him because it is a PMI approved course. There is this checklist from PMI that you can also use to prepare for your application. So this is the link up here. I'll link it down below if you would like it. So then when it's time to apply, you're going to register for a PMI account. You can just go to pmi.org. We'll go to the homepage really fast, and you can register. It is free. You're just going to fill this out. You can also link it to your LinkedIn, your Apple ID, your Google, or your Facebook. Mine's just linked to my Google. So things to expect on the application itself. We're going to, well, we'll keep the screen share going. We'll just go back one page. It's going to ask you for your academic education. So it's going to ask your highest level of education, the country of the institution, the name of the institution, and the field of study. It's going to ask you about your professional education. It's going to ask you, and that is where you would plug in any like education you've done that's relevant to the application. If you've done other, maybe like a CAPM cert, you would plug in like the course you took for that. Your PM experience, so this is everything that we just talked about of all the different projects you need to prove that you've led. Some notes on the project to help these stand out. The months cannot overlap. You are going to want to define what the objective and the outcome of the project you led were. So for example, if it's a marketing campaign, we wanted to drive qualified leads, and the outcome was we drove 4,000 qualified leads over 9 months. You're going to focus on your responsibility and the deliverables. So like, I was responsible for coordinating with the ad vendor. I was responsible for updating the project management tool. I was responsible for managing the weekly meetings and making sure everybody was on time. I was responsible for updating the Gantt chart. Things like that, maintaining project documentation, reporting out on deliverables, defining quality metrics. These are all things that will go a long way in your application. Do not focus on the product or the technical aspects of the project, because as a project manager, you're never expected to be the expert. You are the project manager. And so you want to make sure that you're drawing very clear lines when you're creating your application. So yeah, focus on what you did to manage the project, and you do not need to list the points of contact on each project for your application. You just need to have them ready. So let's see, what else? If you have more than so you only need enough projects to show for whatever eligibility requirements you are within. So like, if you're in set A, you only need 5 years. Set B, 3, set C, 2. If you have more, it's actually negative, like it has a negative impact if you list more than you need to. Only list what you're asked. Do not go over. If you go like a couple months over, they're not going to care. But if you're listing like 40 years of experience for set A or set B or set C, do not do that. That actually has a negative impact on your application. You will for sure get audited. And the last thing it's going to ask you is just to fill out your basic info and then submit it. So once you hit that submit button, what's going to happen, it's going to go to PMI, and within 5 days, you're either going to know if you were rejected, accepted, or if you're being audited. If you get audited like I did, they're going to ask you for references. I would reach out to these references and let them know it's coming, because they do pick up the phone and call them all. I confirmed that with all of my references. They were all contacted. If you were rejected, they will tell you why, and if you were accepted, or if you get audited and then accepted, what happens is you will be able to make your payment and then schedule your exam date. Now, there is a period, and I don't know the exact, it will tell you when they accept or reject you, when you have to make the payment and schedule your exam by, but there is a window between your application being accepted and needing to make payment, schedule, and take the exam. So if you do need to come up with that $425 or $675, make sure that you plan ahead for that before you are applying. Maybe run your side hustles, throw it in a high yield savings account, let it accrue some interest, and then you have a little bit left over after you pay to take the exam. So I hope this was helpful. I know this is a big area of ambiguity for people. Stop my recording. Sorry. There we go. Okay, save. But I hope this helped, and I hope you all rock your exams. Good luck, and when you pass your PMP exam, comment down below that you passed, and I will say congratulations, because it is so hard. So good luck.